Well, welcome back here to Accident Reflections. If you're new, welcome. And just to note here that we are busy with the 10th presentation in the series of Accident Reflections, and we will probably stop at about 100 of them. So you will see that it may be different accidents, but many of the ingredients in the accidents are starting to be part of it. So it's maybe a different cake, but there are many familiar content into what has happened. There's articles that goes with this. This time we're going to look at a Cessna 182 and CFIT, or controlled flight into terrain, and we'll decide later, is it controlled flight into terrain means simply that the aircraft was fully under control, all right? Nothing wrong with the engine, nothing control. Lift equals coefficient of lift, half rho v squared S is working fine, and all of a sudden the aircraft just dead stopped against a mountain, or in whatever case it may be. A 102 like this, and then the next thing, and first, before we carry on here, is this is the area within it. There was the traveling routes between the two. So you've had cloud cover. But now let's have a look and see. It's a return flight from Nelspruit to Hoedspruit. So they flew to Nelspruit from Hoedspruit, and this is now the return flight the afternoon. The pilot is very familiar. Maybe looked on his cell phone for weather, I'm sure, but I don't think there was a proper weather forecast. Weather deteriorated en route. Remember, with familiarity now, and then the aircraft descended from 5,000. It was requested, and it actually descended, it could be seen by control, from 5,500 to 4,500 feet. That is a telltale sign that you forced down because of low cloud. No other reason. That's it. That's why pilots fly lower. Yeah, in this kind of, because remember, that's above sea level, eh? So the height above ground is very little. Okay, low cloud and some mountain ranges covered, and it is high speed into terrain. And if you look at the next one, you can see that terrible, but that is the end result. So everything, all the energies came to zero in an instant. Okay, pilot is used to this route, so I'm just giving some food for thought here. And this must make us think, because now, we're a little bit more prone not to be scared of flying. The route planning most probably not done, because we've done it a million times. But here comes the first problem. They were west of track, which meant encountering high ground where the normal route, and I'll show it just now, they shouldn't have encountered higher ground. So if you plot a direct line, then you're okay. But if you're more to the west, then you're going to encounter high ground, for which 4,500 and even 5,500 not good enough. So for somebody that's familiar with the area, to drift off track that much means at this stage that it was busy. Busy dodging cloud, busy dodging this, busy dodging this. All right? And remember, the moment that we start flying outside our comfort zone, that's exactly where you are, outside your comfort zone. So, descent to stay clear. Pilot must have been confident about the position, because the impact was at high speed. He did not expect any mountain piece or hill or whatever inside the cloud that he penetrated. Huge possibility the pilot entering zero visibility and did not expect the mountain in front of him, and certain rescue was activated. Right. Just on the sketch here, and this is a little bit, it's difficult to show, but here you can see is the route, that yellow line that I've put on Google Earth, if you drew a straight line. Now, yes, the tower want them there, and they want them lower for that and that and there. The pilot is happy with the area, and the only reason I've got this is to show how far he was off track. Now, flying towards us now is towards the north. Okay, so in other words, this is west. Okay, let's have a look. Well, we can carry on with this one and then say that it was extremely difficult, because in the accident report I got more than one accident site GPS. So remember, I'm not here with factual, I don't think the information was right, and after studying the area for a long time at the height and so and so and so, I deduced that this is a more probable place where they ran into high ground. But that's not at stake. So if anybody's watching this and, but that is not right, then yes, I don't know, because the accident report is giving different stuff, and it's not at the heights, and. So, all right, let's get past that one and say whether en route was, if checked, underestimated or underreported. Well, I think it's a little bit of both, eh? A pilot pushed on as he was confident about the knowledge of the route. That's a human factor. So all of a sudden, I hate to use the word complacency, because it's such a scapegoat word. It's complacency. Human behavior is very complex, and complacency is a word that we use, and it actually means that we are not as scared as we should be in dangerous situations. In other words, we start taking things automatic and for granted, and we don't cover, all the bases. Okay, never mind. Not known if the pilot used GPS. Okay, pilot could not climb into cloud, neither descend because of the ground. Oh, yeah, we're sitting with a pilot he cannot go up, so he snookered to the top, he snookered to the bottom, and he's going to try and say, but at one or other stage, are you going to fly into the ground, or are you going to fly straight, or are you going to start climbing? There's a decision. There's three options. But option of climbing, we don't want to climb because we're not IF-rated and we know we cannot do that. The option of flying into the ground, that's a bit rough. But I think the height, and I've been here lots of time, it just looks enough, we'll go past. Unfortunately, not. The normal route would have been able to accommodate an aircraft at 4.5, although the height is academic. Okay, the height was crucial regarding the mountain. There was time to turn around. That is a point here, but we carried on. So this is the humans factors part here. The pilot was probably aware of the mountain range on his left, but oblivious to the range ahead. And that's why this makes a little bit more sense, but it doesn't matter. The pilot flew himself into a corner, couldn't go up, couldn't go down, didn't expect a piece of granite in front of him, so we enter. Unfortunately, there was a mountain inside the cloud. All right. And it's not that you discover it. High-speed flight into it is instantaneous and it's gone. All right, never mind. Let's not get so graphic about that. Here you can see the valley that was taken from the wreckage, the valley where they were flying, with then the higher mountains on this side, and the route should have been on this side. Okay, recommendations. Habit is good when in stable environment. Now I need you to listen well here, because habit is good, but habit is bad in a dynamic environment. And I've got into a habit, I'm doing this all the time. As long as the environment and everything stays stable and normal and all of that, then habit is good. But the moment that the environment changes and your habit does not sort of fit in with the new dynamics of the environment, then it's bad. So, on the one hand, we are creatures of habit. That's great. On the other hand, we must be careful that habit is not the reason why we get hurt. Flying is a very dynamic environment, and we must appreciate tackling a mountain low level with deteriorating visibility. There's 50-50 chance. Do not mess with mountains in bad weather or winds. But we're saying this every time now. Think ahead of the aircraft to ensure escape routes. Turn around timeously. Hey, you know what? I can't turn around. I'm going to look bad. I'm the man. No, you're not. You're dead. Sorry. With all respect, I'm not pointing that in any derogative term towards the people that died here. Remember, in the bigger picture, I'm talking to you who's alive. Okay? Stick to the rules. Non-IF-rated pilots must not underestimate seriousness of proper ratings and proper training. Neither the mountain nor the weather cares about you and your aircraft. I one day asked somebody, oh, do you think your aircraft cares for you? And the answer is, yes, depending on how much care I give the aircraft. Let me break it to you very badly. You can polish your aircraft every day. It's not going to help you avoid the mountain. It will not interfere. It's not going to say, hey, thanks for polishing me, so I'm going to just warn you, there's something coming up. It ain't happening, okay? So get over that one. Mother Nature, and she doesn't take prisoners. She doesn't care about you. That is where the saying comes from that the earth and the environment and the Mars and all that stuff was not built for you. The mountain does not serve you. You've got to be careful around the mountain and around the obstacles. Okay? And then you can get yield from that. But you yourself, There's going to come a time when you will become one with earth again, and the mountain will still stand. Yeah, it sounds very dramatic. The point is here once again. I wanted this one to look at the human factor side of things. Do not get complacent or too relaxed in a dynamic environment. Remember, when the dynamics of the environment changes, your habit, which was maybe a good one then, now is not fit for the new situation. Until the next one.